Hi, my name is Todd Ricci. I'm the lighting director slash on-show designer for Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. Well, first off, Bruce Springsteen owns this console. It sits in his warehouse when it's not on tour. They bought this for the 1999 reunion tour, and we've been using it ever since. What we do is we integrate this with the Grand MA via a pathway system that's kind of unique for the touring scenario of this particular tour. And basically what it allows us to do is get a little more rock and roll feel, more human feel to the show, so that we can do things with a lot of hits and bumps to the music, almost as a musician would, as opposed to just hitting a go button where you lose a little less of that kind of mechanical feel to a show. This console controls intensity. The Grand MA controls it controls color, gobo patterns, position changes, and it has a few intensity levels on it as well. The bulk of the show is used by the Wild Sun 500. It's an LED that was added for this tour, and we have various Verilights up there. We have VL 3000s as our main pattern spots on stage. The backlights that we use on a lot of the band members are the VL 2500s, and we have a very big 3200 presence for front lights. So we use VL 1000 tungsten sources, as well as the follow spots are all tungsten spots that are either from the side or from the front. We also chip the house spots to 3200, so we have a nice warm look to our show. We've been doing that since 1999. So I don't know if we'll make a jump to a different color temperature someday, but for now it seems to work. Bruce really loves that warm look. What I've always had a problem with LEDs is having a smooth dimmer curve. So we really work very meticulously with the Wild Sun people at trying to get the software to be smoother, because for Bruce, he can go from being a real rock show to being a really dramatic show. So we wanted to make sure that we don't have things snap on, and the Wild Suns do a great job with their dimmer curve. So they really worked really hard on that. It was one of the must-haves on the tour. We tried a lot of other different LED products, and some were good, but you know, the one thing that the Wild Sun has is it has a slightly warmer white color temperature to it, and it's got a fairly big aperture, so even in a daytime show like this, it seems to have a presence in the show, as opposed to, you know, some of the VL washes and stuff can tend to be a little washed out by the sun, whereas those give you a little eye candy. Yeah, well, there are some old units up there that are, once again, a tungsten source. So those units are usually found either on the side of the band or in front of them, because we want that good 3200. And it's still one of the fastest, best color mixing tungsten sources out there. And it's small, but it is a little older technology, but it's been holding up pretty well on this tour. There was a funny story behind that. We had a very smoky room in one of the tours in the past, and the lighting looked incredible. And you know, I was talking to him, and he just said that looked really cool. A couple tours after that is when we got to finally introduce smoke, and of course, the selling point to that always is having Sharpies in your show, because if you want to get the Sharpie beam, you have to have something to shoot it through. So it gave us a good platform to try it out. We got the safest atmosphere that we could get for him. So that's kind of the easy sell, and we haven't had any problems. We keep them in the air where they're not so much around the stage. So we try and keep the level just above the band, of course. That's why you'll see a lot of different colors in our show. We use a lot of depth and colorization in the show, which is still in there, except now we can see different layers when the haze is actually, you know, indoors usually. Outdoors is a little swirly. But yeah, it makes a big impact now. I'll never forget a show in Foxborough, Massachusetts, where the fog came in, and we really got to see the beams from the spots in the house to the beams on stage. It was an actually incredible night. Yeah. We never know what song Bruce is going to play from 1 minute to the next. We get a set list that's basically a guideline. There's a few songs that he does most every night, but it doesn't mean he's going to put it in the right order. So we really have to try and get some clues, you know, working for him for so long and working with staff that also has worked with him for so long. We kind of know a little bit of what's going on, but he still, you know, is a very unpredictable set. So that's what keeps it exciting for everybody. It's not just the same old show every night. It's why this system works so well for us, having a board operator that controls color and position, and then a board operator that handles intensity, makes it a lot easier to get the same feel he's trying to get with his band. There are times where he completely starts a song and we have no idea what he's about to play, but very seldom. We go into what's called a generic mode. We have pages on this board and pages on the Ma that are set up for different tempos of music. So he's been known to pull out a song he hasn't played in 30 years or so. So we have to go back in and we have to hopefully know the music, of course, and then B, match it to one of those generic pages. So we know the generic pages pretty well. You have so many different band members on stage, there's so much action taking place that, you know, it's more of a big, widespread design from what it used to be. It used to be very dramatic with different angles and you know, we could have maybe 10 Wild Suns on for some of the older songs, where now we use bigger brush strokes. You know, it's more of a rock feel, and since there's so many band members on stage, we have to keep the stage lit pretty well. The cameras are always following people on stage, so we have to make sure that we're giving them plenty of light, and it's a dramatic look, because that's what is key for the video department. The LED screens have always been on the sides to let the audience obviously be able to see if you have a seat in the rear, but we've incorporated a big, large back screen, which usually has good crowd shots. Bruce likes to see himself with the crowd behind him, and just the excitement level really gets the feel of the show in a more upbeat manner.